Yes! Yes! Finally! You have no idea how much I have missed doing videos. I'm going to get into all the reasons why, but first, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Sharon. Uh-oh, set disaster. No. Obviously, Buns is doing really well. So for those of you who don't know, I have this 6-month-old kitten. We'll get into updates later. He's going to destroy the set. I'm going to have to take a moment to try to lock him out. Ah! Come on, out. That little scamper knows how to unlock that door. Anyway, where was I? It's been so long since I've been able to do a video. Oh my Lord, I have missed doing this. So today's video is going to be a little bit just free-flowing. I've not scripted anything, but I have got a job to do. And so I just wanted to have a come in and reacquaint myself with you guys. Did I actually complete all of the intro parts? Well, maybe I'll do it again. My name is Sharon. This is Rare Roots of Joy, where we talk about plants, houseplants, orchids. He's going to do that the whole time. I hope this is not coming through on the microphone. If it is, that's going to be a pain to edit out in post. We're just going to have to wing it, guys. But yeah, I've been away from YouTube for a few reasons, and I will get into all of that. We're just going to have a little chat and get reacquainted and reacquaint myself with actually making videos for you guys. And I've missed it so much. And while we're sitting chatting, and I'm going to chat about a whole range of topics today, I have a bunch of plants to unflask or deflask. I think the term is deflask. So I picked up a flask of Phalaenopsis. It's a violacea cross Bellina. I picked this up dirt cheap, guys, from the Ozcov show. And I'll get into the Ozcov show later. But in the meantime, let's just get straight into it. So how is everybody? I hope you're all doing well. It's now officially spring here in Melbourne, Australia. And I am so behind in all my plant chores. Oh my God, I can't even tell you all. So I'm going to start doing this this is distilled water. I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing. Sorry if I do jump about a bit. I'm just so excited to be doing a video. Yay. So I'm going to be deflasking, taking these plants out of the agar into here, which is just a clear plastic container. And I'm going to measure out a litre of water. So that's 2 of these essentially. And whoa, yeah. Going to put 2 of these in. Hope no one needs to go to the toilet, because now you probably do. Anyway, so I'll just put that down there. And yeah, that's all you need to do with that. This is distilled water. And we're going to start taking the plants out of the vase. So, where have I been? Well, actually, there's a few things been going on lately. So I'd like to get into as much as I can. I'm not going to do anything without any lip gloss. Not going to do anything without lip gloss. Just doesn't happen. So where have I been? Well, been doing a lot. So I guess we'll start with my health. So some of you know, not all of you do, and I don't really talk about it too often because I don't really want to, bore you guys with what's going on in my health. We've all got problems. But I have a chronic inflammatory arthritis, and it's an autoimmune disorder. So basically that means that my autoimmune or my immune system is out to kill me, really. It's nothing really beyond that. It doesn't like me. It's trying to kill me. Oh, actually, I'm going to put some root zone in this. Now, this is a great little product. I'm going to put that on, give it a bit of a shake. This is a great little product. It contains auxins and some extra goodies that promote root growth. It's called Root Zone. I do actually sell it on my site. And And really for this, we're only going to need about half a mil. About that. Okay. Put that in there. Give it a swish. All right, where was I? Oh yeah, health. So I try not to really talk about this and just bang on about it because everyone's got their own health issues. And if you don't have health issues, good for you. Congratulations. Just wait a few years, you'll get them. So me, I have a chronic health issue. It's kind of a bit like in the same family as rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. So it is an autoimmune condition. There is no cure, but it's an autoinflammatory arthritis. And I was diagnosed with that in 2010. And it's okay. I mean, everything generally has been going relatively okay with it all until around about a year ago. Oh, by the way, would you subscribe if you want to subscribe to the channel to get more content like this, tips and tutorials and all things plants. If you're a plant parent, subscribe. Clearly, I didn't do that very well. So the rheumatoid arthritis was going okay up until about a year ago, and I moved house from around the other side of the city where I was. So I live in Melbourne, Australia, for those that don't know. And my rheumatologist was right on the other side of town. So it would be about 2 hours to get to him these days. And, you know, there were other reasons that I didn't necessarily want to see this particular rheumatologist anymore. And I wanted a rheumatologist closer to me. Now, that meant that I had to go on a waiting list. So in the meantime, I wasn't seeing a rheumatologist. My arthritis care was being looked after by my GP or my general practitioner, my general doctor. So, and what happened is that they cannot dispense the really good drugs. So I had to go off those really good drugs. Well, fortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, the drug that I was taking, which was fantastic, and I was taking that for 14 years, stopped working as well. I'm going to have to take out this whole thing. So I'm going to have to try and scoop some of this out without affecting some of the roots. I want that really big one. See that one? So so that drug stopped working as well for me after 14 years of me taking it religiously and doing all of the right things. And we had to go off that drug. So I went off that drug. And unfortunately, because I'd moved house and I had to go on a waiting list to see a rheumatologist, I wasn't able to really get much of a replacement drug. And my GP is able to prescribe, look at that, woo, lovely. I'm going to try and get some of the gel off that. Back in there. My doctor is able to prescribe a miracle, but very nasty side effects, steroid called prednisolone. And to those of you who know prednisolone, you'll understand why it hasn't been the best of rides on the prednisolone. Oh, for the arthritis itself, it's fantastic. But there, you know, with all good miracles, there is a price. That price is, well, they have a name for it. It's called the prednisolone moon face. And that's literally what I'm sporting right now. So I'm a lot puffier in the face. I have gained weight. There's no doubt about that. I'm not very happy about it. And there's really nothing that I'm doing wrong in terms of my diet or exercise. I'm still doing the same things I've always done. And you know, I've always been relatively, you know, stable around 55 to 60 kilos, somewhere in that range. I am not 55 to 60 kilos right now, believe you me. That's just one of the side effects is you get a significant amount of weight gain, you become puffy, you can get a hump, and my bone density is being compromised. So upper body strength just disappears. So there's a whole host of side effects that are not good, and no doctor wants you on this stuff long term. I've been on it for a year because it's the only thing that is working. Now, about a year ago, I developed a Baker's cyst, which is a cyst behind my knee. And the very first time I had it, it actually ruptured. And that meant that cyst, all of the stuff from like within the cyst just fell down the leg. I swear to God, it was one of the most painful experiences I've been through. And I've been through some pain with a chronic pain condition, right? I'm used to dealing with pain. This was next level crap. That was awful. I couldn't actually bend my knee at all. I couldn't really. Getting in and out of bed was practically impossible with, if your sort of leg is sort of stuck straight and any sort of movement at all, you're then coming off the ceiling. Then it's not pretty. So I had to deal with that. Went on the prednisolone, and the prednisolone made it go away. It reduced the size of the cyst, and the cyst and its symptoms went away. And as soon as I started trying to step down off the prednisolone, it came back. Have a look at the tiny little ball of roots here. There is nothing there but root. Little tiny itty bitty bitty roots. I don't think we're going to be able to pot them up. But hey, we'll throw them in there anyway. So this cyst ruptured badly, and it wasn't fun. It meant that I struggled. I work from home, and even really working was next to impossible. So sitting at a computer, not a chance, because you have to sit with your leg straight out, and you have to try and concentrate, and you can't move, and it's just terrible. So it wasn't a fun ride at all. So that all happened, and it really wasn't nice. Fantastic. It wasn't even just adequate. It was sheer fucking pain. And for those of you who are going through a chronic pain condition of any type or deal with a chronic pain, you know what I'm talking about. So, and for anyone who's had a Baker's cyst, especially who's had one ruptured, oh my God, do I have all the sympathy in the world for you? I know how you feel. Jeez, it's no. So anyway, I started stepping down off the prednisolone, and the cyst came back. And I was told several times, several different people, this will come back when you drop that prednisolone. And it's exactly what happened. So I have been on that prednisolone since, and it has now been a year. The good news is that a week and a half ago, I saw my new rheumatologist. So I'm very, very excited to say that I'm now back under the care of a specialist, which is the right thing for me and the right thing for anyone who's dealing with lots and lots of agar. Which is definitely the right thing to do. And, we have to make sure that we keep on top of our health. So I'm now back under the care of a rheumatologist. I have to go for an MRI scan, but I have to step down off the prednisolone because she needs my body in its unmedicated state to be able to really see what's going on. Because it's all fine and dandy while the prednisolone is doing the right thing. I can move. I don't really have too many mobility issues. I'm not in pain. But, that's what it does. It reduces, it's a wonder drug. It really reduces the symptoms of all of that, or it reduces the inflammation. But she needs to find out what's going on. So I need to step down off that prednisolone. So I need to schedule that MRI appointment for a time in the future. And then I need to progressively step off the prednisolone and be off that for a couple of weeks. And then I go for my scan. There's no woe is me here. I'm not a victim. I am, doing pretty well. I'm not TPD'd out of the workforce or anything like that. So, and I know that that's happened to a couple of people with my condition that are younger than I am. So there's no boohoo. It's just now, well, now we're now under the care of a specialist and we just need to get shit done. So we're getting shit done. The next sort of part of the puzzle is being St. John Ambulance medical responder volunteer, which again, some of you know, you may have seen my previous vlogs and things like that where I've talked about it. So I'm also an accredited trainer with St. John Ambulance, which means I am accredited to take St. John courses, nationally recognised courses in first aid. So I can train, and I'm also, medical first responder of 17 years, 18 years. Oh God, I'm that old. So around 18 years I've been doing that now. I'm gonna let that soak for 5 minutes and just talk to y'all. So yeah, so I've been a medical responder for 18 years now, and as a volunteer, and I absolutely love it. It's a fabulous thing to do if you're into helping people, when they're at the most vulnerable. It's a great pursuit to do. We're always looking for volunteers, believe you me. But because of my knee and this arthritis issue that has really plagued sort of, the last year really, but particularly, 2024, parts of 2024, I wasn't able to go on shifts. And that's not good. So we have to keep up. You have to do a certain amount of shift hours every year, and you have to do a certain amount of training hours every year. The training hours I've been able to do. The shift hours, because you're walking around and you have to be on response and you're going from here to here to here to here to here to here to patient to patient to patient, that's not something that I've been able to do. And I've had to make that up. So once my knee started to become a little bit more stable, I've had to make up those hours in the second half of this year. So since July, August, and into September, I have been doing heaps of hours with St. John Ambulance, trying to make sure that I remain clinically competent for the year and efficient for the year. That's important. If I'm not efficient for the year, then, I can't go out on shifts anymore until I become efficient for the year. And if you're going to do that route, it's a real pain in the ass. So I don't really want to have to not be efficient for the year. So when my knee has been good, I've been doing extra shifts and trying to make up that time with St. John Ambulance. So, there's that. So it's been going on for about 5 minutes or so. Giving it a bit of getting as much of that agar off as we can and getting those lovely auxins and hormones into those roots. So St. John Ambulance happens in addition to work. Gee, I really didn't do a good job with those signs, did I? Anyway, oh, by the way, subscribe if you like more content like this. Let's put those ones back up. There we go. So work has been a bit of a factor. So for my paid full-time job, I work in IT. I work for a software development company, and we recently had another round of forced redundancies, which is a bit sad. It really sucks when you have to lose staff, but fact of the matter is we're not making enough money. So you can't afford to keep people if you can't afford to pay them. So we've had a round of forced redundancies, and that means there's less people to get the same amount of work done, which means the work is spread out a little bit more. Other people have to pick up. And previously, I ran 2 departments. So I ran the quality assurance department, software testers, quality people, and then I also ran education and training. Funnily enough, I do a lot of training, but now I'm running 4 departments with less people. So unfortunately, that has also kind of meant I've had to do some extra hours, extra responsibilities, extra hours to be able to get the work done, without those time frames being compromised, which kind of sucks. But, it is what it is. Hopefully that situation will resolve itself, and I'm not going to get really too much into that because I don't really want the whole internet knowing where I work. All right, so I need to get my pots for these ready to go. I'm going to be planting these up in a mix of small and large pumice. So hang tight. I'm just going to go get some stuff. All right. So we've reconfigured here just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to be using gloves for this particular exercise. You don't have to use gloves as long as you've got clean hands. It's perfectly fine. But these have come out of a sterile environment. They've gone into distilled water, which is they're not sterile, but you know, as clean as it gets. And I want to try and keep it all. So essentially, I'm just going to be potting up these one by one and making sure that there is agar. All the agar is off as much as we possibly can, pulling off any dead stuff. Trying to get the roots into the pot. I'm going to get pumps all over the place, so I can already tell. I'm probably using, for the most part, larger pumice, I think. For most of these that I want to pot up. We'll just have to see how it goes. All right. So, I think that's as much work talk as we're going to get in this video, at least. So, next, I want to talk about what's been going on with the orchid clubs. So, because I was being stretched thin, and to be honest, because of some pretty fucking shit behaviour by some people who purport to be adults, I'm no longer the vice president of the orchid club of which I was previously vice president of. I decided that I wasn't prepared to deal with people acting like children, and that I had enough on my plate without dealing with all of that sort of mess. So I decided to resign. But yeah, so I actually resigned, and I do not regret it one iota. Sometimes in the world that you deal with assholes, and you know what? I don't care if that's what you have to call out crap behaviour. And there are ways that you treat volunteers, and there are ways that you don't treat volunteers. Trust me, I've been volunteering for a lot of different places all of my life. I know how to treat volunteers, and I know how you don't. And I saw a lot of behaviour where, you know, you don't treat volunteers the way I saw them being treated. So, no thanks. So I have decided that, you know, while I'm happy to be a member, I'm not happy to be on the committee. So that was that. And no volunteer organisation is perfect. You know, St John Ambulance is certainly not perfect. But, you know, there are things that you just can't walk past and you can't accept. And I found my limitations. I already knew where my limitations were, but they were there. So that is as it is. But we've had our winter shows, which have been a lot of fun. And then we had our spring shows. So I'm a member of more than one society, okay? And that committee stuff only happened on one of them. And that's fine, you know. Oh, this one's not going to be fun at all. Good gracious. Don't break the roots, Sharon. What are you doing? Get rid of that root, that's fine. That bit of root. This is not going to be... Ah! Oh, no! Oh, no! Shish kebab. Oh. Ah, that was a good root too. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, it breaks the heart. And the head. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, societies. So we've had our winter shows and our spring shows. And I actually did pretty well. I'm not complaining about that. So I got a couple of major awards. So I've got a couple. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to break a beautiful big root like we did the last one. Ooh, this is the thing about when you take these out, because they're clones and they've been growing in this agar, in this unnatural environment. Let's just say that. They can grow in weird sorts of ways initially. You can see there we've got this plant in here. But we've also got this plant here, and it's all attached to the same system. So you can't really separate it. You have to pot it all up together. It's got to be a bit gentle in how we manage the root systems. We are going to put some smaller pumice in here eventually. But what I'm trying to do first is just get the plant secured into repot. All right, so can I continue to talk about two things at once? We'll continue to try to do that. So yeah, I actually did pretty well. I got a number of awards, first place awards in these shows for my orchids, for a couple of my orchids. And I won on 2 occasions, 2 different shows, best foliage plant. So I was pretty chuffed about that. Wouldn't you be chuffed about that? I was chuffed about that. Pretty proud. I will, and I won it for my philodendron Prince of Orange on both occasions. I've actually got 2 of these plants. I put one in one show and one in the other show. And on both occasions, I got best foliage plant. So, damn it. This is a cheap set. Can you tell? All right, next. Oh, a couple of different plants here. Oh, this one is kind of attached to the root of another one. Not kind of, it actually is. There we go. Separate that out. All right, so we've got this next. I need 3 lovely long roots here. So yeah, best foliage plant. Yay! Yay me! With the philodendron Prince of Orange. I'm not going to complain about that. Now my orchids, they did okay, but you know, I've had a fair amount of trouble with my orchids this year because winter. Oh my God, we've had a couple of frosts this winter here in Melbourne, and I probably lost around 9 or 10 plants. I reckon I probably lost more than that, because I reckon I lost about 6 or 7 sarcochyllus orchids to the frost. And I lost a beautiful Docrelia. Now, Docrelia had been moved. They never actually technically had their own category. They were always under Dendrobium, but we call them Docrelia. They don't look anything like a Dendrobium, really. They really do. To me, they belong in their own genus. But, you know, I'm not a taxonomist. So, and what do I know about plants and botany? Absolutely nothing, really. Only what I learn. I don't have a degree. I've said this 1,000 times. I have a degree in IT. I have an IT degree. I have a business systems major. I know how the internet works. I know how to make the blinky lights stay on. That's about it. When it comes to botany and plants and all of that, I don't know shit. So this is a really nice one. This grows out really well. This will be a beautiful plant. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's hope she does well. Bit too much. Because these have got a lot of big roots. We want them all in here. All in the pot. All in the pot. We can wrap them around twisting the orchid. Don't know why I'm putting on this crappy accent. Which actually reminds me, we had also another show, separate to the show that my orchid clubs and plant clubs put on. We had the OzCov show, which is the largest orchid show in the Southern Hemisphere. So they say. I don't know whether that is genuinely true or not, but I'm sure it's a good claim and they're running with it. So, but it is a pretty huge show. And I think Matt over at Hello Plant Lovers did a video actually on the OzCov show. I did not. I was going to, and I completely forgot to take my camera equipment with me, so I couldn't. Well, at least he did, so you can go over to his channel and take a look at the OzCov Orchid show. And when I'm finished this, and maybe in my next video, I will show you. I walked away with a few new plants, as you could imagine, and like I tend to do. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do a little plant haul video of what I picked up at that. That'd probably go for a really long time, given what I didn't take that home that much. Let's be fair. You're a future award winner, I think. So, yeah, I don't know if I can do anything with this. I mean, it might grow. Let's put him back in here and get out the ones that we think will grow. All right. What have we got here? No, it's not one orchid. That's one. Very, very, very. I don't want to. I don't want to pull that apart anymore. I really don't. I suspect that's that little there. That's another little plantlet. Shall we? Well, we just did. We just did. And then we'll leave that as it is. Okay, so that's another 3. Where are we at on the... I was talking about winter. Okay, so this is already going to need some of the smaller stuff on top. All right, so that's just fallen straight out. It didn't even bury itself in there. This is going to be it. These are so little. So little. Winter. Oh my God, I hate winter so much. I hate winter so much. Winter was really, really, really hard because we had the frosts, and unfortunately, on this property, and even really on my last property when I was in my old place, I did not have a greenhouse. And really, my orchids, the only undercover area is just around the house under the eaves. So that's why I do a lot of indoor growing, is because I can't really protect them from the sun or the elements very well. Well, this place is windy. And we had some cyclonic winds. And I'm not making that up. We actually had cyclone category 1 winds a few times, and it was sustained over like a week. That's in addition to the several frosts that we actually had. Orchids don't like being frozen for the most part. So, well, they just don't. Certainly not the orchids that I have. They don't like being frozen. So, I did lose some of them. Some of them I was able to protect. My big speciosums I was able to protect. But I did lose a number of them, and particularly Sarcochilus. And as I said, that Dockerillia, man, that was I reckon that was 50 years old. And, breaks the heart. It's not completely dead. I do still have green on it. Parts of it survived. But the fact that it was a beautiful big specimen, it has been cut down completely. into that. It has been really cut down, which is a real shame. This thing needs a really, really tiny pot, but it's going to get one of those. I'm going to put some of the very, very large rocks at the bottom. Fill this up as much as I can before I put a layer of this. One root. Man, I've essentially just laid this on top and tried to cover the root. What have we got left? We've got a few left. So we've got that one. We've got, this is 2. And we've got straggly bits. Probably 3, 4, about 3 in that clump. Let's grab all the ones with roots that we know we're going to put up. That one. Up. So we'll give those a go. I know you can't see them, but they're actually lying all out here. I'm just going to put this big broken root back in there because I got to look at it. All right. Okay. Some of these can actually go in 2 orchids, 1 pot, because they're that small. So we'll do that. Save pot space. That's got a root that's sticking up like a leaf. That rotted part off. It's got 2 roots. I'm going to have to just lay that down. Hope for the best. Probably very bored by now. Anyway, I don't mean to stop talking. I'm sorry. I'll continue to talk. Where was I? Oh yeah, winter. It was a horrible winter. So it decimated my outdoor plants, unfortunately. Obviously not all of them. But it really did have a bit of a crushing blow on quite a few of them. So that sucked. So now on to better topics, the boys. So the boys are all doing really well. Buns is desperate to get in. He keeps shoving his paw underneath the door here, which I do have closed. He has figured out how to open it, but I have got the lock on right now. So he's been doing really well. As I said, he's now 6-month-old. About a month ago, he was desexed, and oh my god, the look on his face. The look on his face when I picked him up from the vet. He wasn't happy to go to the vet, believe you me, of course. Unlike Storm, who begs to go into his cat cage so he can go into the car and have a little journey. I mean, Storm is such a weird cat. Not many cats will just waltz and beg to be taken on a journey. Storm is one of those that will. Buns, absolutely not. And even though he's now officially not sleeping in that, or not being put in the cat cage at night anymore, to give the boys a breather, he was not happy to go to the vet. But even worse was the look on his face when I picked him up from the vet. Oh my god! It just had the look of, you traitorous bitch. The look on he was so sour. He was so sour. But as soon as he got home, so the vet gave me actually a care sheet and said, look, aftercare for your kitten that has been through a desexing. So it said, let's avoid these activities: running, jumping, chasing toys, or all of the things that you would expect him not to be doing immediately after surgery. I mean, imagine, you've got a 4-year-old who's, just had an appendix out. You don't expect them to be out the back on the monkey bars the afternoon. Well, this kitten was out on the monkey bars all afternoon. So as soon as he got home, he started tearing around the house like there was no tomorrow. It's like he hadn't been home in a month. He was running, he was jumping, and if you think that I could actually stop this from happening, I mean, the only really thing that I could have done was just locked him in the back bedroom and shut the door and, forced him to sort of, calm down. But I didn't really want to do that either. That's not really fair on him. I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's very, very, very much a cat that likes to be with his people. And he's just gotten home from the vet. So why lock him in a room where he's got absolutely nothing and no stimulation? So I didn't think that was the right thing to do. So we had fun. I'm just going to go get some of the things that fell down there. All right, so it was 2 of them. Okay, cool. Excellent. Well, I don't really have that much more to pot up, which is really good. So, yeah. So running around all over the house was Buns, of course. Of course, why wouldn't you? So I'm going to pop this one and this one together. And I'm going to hold them like that. And yeah, so didn't miss a beat. It said in the care sheet, your cat might not be hungry after surgery. He ate like 4 times his body weight in food that afternoon that he got home. As soon as he got home, I want food. Give me food. I haven't eaten all day since my because he had to fast from midnight the night before. And so, of course, he was, again, part of that traitor look that he had. You didn't let me eat breakfast. You brought me over to this thing. They've chopped my bloody balls off. And now you expect me to play nice? Poor little thing. Anywho. And now we've got 1 more to go. Well, 2 technically, but we're going to put them in the one pot. It's this tiny bit and this tiny bit. We're almost there. So yeah. Meanwhile, Storm and Rue had a fabulous day off without being attacked by said kitten. Because he has been attacking them. He is officially the bully of the family. Because he came to us so little. So for those that don't know, Buns was a farm cat. And he was destined for a life pretty much on a farm with no owner. I mean, technically the farm had an owner, but they have, 50 to 100 stray cats that have ended up on their property, not through any fault of their own. They're just strays that have ended up there. And I've told the story on my video, on a previous video, but just for those that don't know, I was at this farm about 6 months ago now, strangely enough. End of March. And this little tiny 3-week-old kitten was sitting in the sun, but shivering because he was wet. And it had been freezing the night before. Apparently he got stuck in a couch that was just sitting in a garage somewhere on this massive farm. And the owner was very, very happy to see me take him. When I picked him up, he was all skin and bone, and his mother wasn't around. His brothers and sisters weren't around. Apparently there were maybe a couple more his age allegedly on that farm. We did see evidence of that. We saw a couple of photos of some kittens that looked like they would be Buns' siblings, but he was not in a good way, and he was by himself. The owners of the farm can't feed them all. And they used to try to feed them and look after them, and then the population started getting out of control. And it's a tough decision to have to make, but they have had to make some hard decisions about the feral cats that are on their property. Well, I decided that this beautiful little 3-week-old kitten, who, probably wouldn't have survived much throughout the week because it was getting colder and colder, because this was autumn. And, I decided that, while I can't save them all, we have plenty of room here for 1 more bub. So he came home a 4-hour journey home with us in the car. So that's how Buns ended up with me and my boys. So, yeah, he's grown up into such a beautiful thing. He really has. All right. We have potted up as much as we're going to pot up. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of backfilling. Try not to be too loud with that thing. So I'm going to just pour a little bit of the smaller pumice on top of the bigger pumice. Just for the ones, all of these, and maybe not that one. That's probably the only one I don't want to really do it with, but I'll do it a little bit. Because we want to make sure that we keep these roots relatively moist, particularly to start off with, because they've come out of a moist environment. Make sure that they stay moist, and I'll be putting some of that in here so it can wick up into these little pots and keep these little roots nice and hydrated as much as we possibly can. So, and then we just have to wait to see how they go, or how they grow. Grow. Yeah, no, Buns have been doing really well, and the two older boys, well, they hate him. No, they don't hate him. They probably hate him. But yeah, they're coping, and I'm making sure that we give them lots of love, and we don't make sure that they're feeling neglected. Storm is still very much a very needy boy. Always was, always will be. So. So I've got to make sure that he is aware that he is not being ignored, that he is not second in any way, shape or form, that he gets some beautiful time. And now that Buns has stopped being such a little tiny kitten that's so vulnerable, I can, reduce the amount of time a little bit that I'm having to spend with him now that he's getting a little bit older, and give that back to the boys and making sure that they still know that this still is their home too. So, you've got to make sure that all the kids understand that they're all welcome and made a suitable mess. So there we go. Phalaenopsis violacea crossed with Bellina. So 3, 6, 9, 11, 13. And who knows what it's actually... So it's 13 out of the flask. And essentially what I'm going to do now is clean that out, because that's got agar in it and, stuff in it that I don't want to actually go in here. I'm going to make up another litre of that with the root zone in it. And then I'm going to pour that in here, and that's going to sit in the bottom of this, and it will allow it to be wicked up. And then this is going to go under a grow light. I think that's it. I think I've exhausted myself, giving you all some updates of what's been going on. I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much for coming along with me and, sticking it out. Sometimes I'm not able to make videos. Thank you for understanding when those times have been. Subscribe if you like plant-related content, and I'll see you in the next